Welcome to Danish for You, and thank you for joining us. My name is Karen.
And my name is Malene.
And before starting, we have to inform you actually that this webinar will be recorded. And that means if you turn on your cameras, you'll be visible on the platform afterwards. So if you don't want to be visible, please turn off your camera. After the webinar, there will be a question and answer session for 15 minutes where you can ask Malene and me about the questions you might have.
So our company, Danish for You, is based on more than 20 years of experience. And what we do is that we teach Danish to people who are already in Denmark and also students who are in a lot of different countries all over the world.
So why learn Danish online? Well, actually, it's because we used to work at a language school, and we often met students who were too busy to attend lessons regularly and actually get something out of the course. They were often tired after a long day at work, and they also had to spend time on transportation back and forth. Though lots of them actually enjoyed the social aspects of being in a class, they sometimes complained that they didn't get to speak enough Danish with the teacher correcting them, and because there were too many people at too many different levels in the classroom.
This and a lot of other reasons, also the fact that some of our students, as I said before, are not in Denmark yet, is why we decided to develop our concept online. Now you might think that online is a bit impersonal, but actually we have experienced the exact opposite. And finally we have found that online lessons are both flexible, time-saving, and efficient.
So for the next 15 minutes, we will take you through our concept, and we will talk about Eurekas, our digital learning platform, and we will show you Let Plus, which is one of our courses for more advanced students.
Our students meet us via Zoom, Skype, or Teams, at least for the time being. And they also meet us more or less directly on our digital learning platform, Eurekas.
And it's actually quite easy to book a lesson with us because we have an online booking system. So you can book and change your appointments up to 24 hours before the lesson. This system makes it very flexible, meaning that you don't need to have a fixed time for your lessons.
We always begin with an introductory interview so that we can define the level and the needs of each maybe coming student. And during this interview, we also introduce people to the platform.
And after that first interview, there will be an ongoing interaction between online lessons and you working, or our students working on our learning platform. So you have a lesson, you work, and you have another lesson and you work again, and so on.
During these online lessons, we focus a lot on oral communication and pronunciation in order to make sure that people can actually use what they have learned in the real world and have the Danes understanding them.
You can also upload or hand in an assignment, an oral or written assignment. Then you hand it in or you upload it to Eurekas, and then we give you personalized video feedback on your assignment. And we work on it until it's completely correct.
We would like to show you how it works on the platform, but before that, we'd like to say a few words about Eurekas. So each course has 10 units that are built up step by step with incorporated progression and repetition.
And all the units consist of different exercises. For example, audio files, pronunciation, and autocorrecting exercises.
And in order to make these lessons more realistic and colorful, we have made a lot of video interviews with people in the streets of Copenhagen and elsewhere, so that you can hear real Danish spoken by Danes.
And in the follow-up online lesson, you will demonstrate what you have learned, and you can ask if you have any doubts, then we will help you, of course.
We provide courses and exercises at a lot of different levels. Right now, we're going to show you an example of that with some different topics.
So now we are in Eurekas, our digital platform, and the course is called Let Øvet Plus, meaning that you know some Danish by now. All the courses, as Malene just said, have 10 units each. And in this course, we have chosen some different topics, as you can see here, for instance, food, shopping, hygge, the weather, and so on. In unit 5 and 10, you will be tested, so to speak, in the grammar and vocabulary of the previous units. It's just a catch-up or repetition of what you have already been through. So let's have a look at unit 4, called hygge.
Each unit starts with an introduction in Danish and English, as you can see here as well. And actually, all through the units, we have translated more or less everything into English to make sure that you understand also in the part where you work on your own.
And as we said just before, our courses are based on video interviews, like here, as you can see here. Hvad betyder hygge for dig? And all the participants are asked the same questions, but because we don't use a script, or they are not told what to answer, they sometimes answer in different ways. So you get to hear a lot of different kinds of real life Danish. Sometimes we also use YouTube videos.
In the different units, we also work with different aspects of Danish grammar, most times combined with the topic of the unit. Here, for instance, it's about adjectives. So you go through the rules before doing the autocorrecting exercises. And autocorrecting just means that you can check yourself whether it's correct or not after having done it. On top of that, as I mentioned before, we emphasize the oral communication and the pronunciation a lot, which is why we have recorded the dialogues too.
Like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, at the end of each unit, you have to talk about yourself. You have to use the words or the vocabulary that you have been through the whole unit, and talk about yourself. What means hygge to you in this case? You ask yourself the questions, and in the next online class, you will tell your teacher about your opinion, and or you can also record it and upload it as an assignment.
So in other words, during the live lesson, you practice, you demonstrate, we go through all this vocabulary that you have been working with, still and always emphasizing the pronunciation, so that you have a fair chance to be actually understood when you go out and talk about hygge with the Danes. Thanks for your attention.